Well, we tried. We really did and try to get this show canceled last week, but by golly, they just won't do it. So we're back again for another day and another week. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Happy Monday to you, 22nd day of April, 2019. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host. Hope you had a good Easter weekend. Mother Nature gave us a fantabulous couple of days of weather, and the hits are going to keep right on coming all this week as the Apple Blossom Festival, the 100th Washington State Apple Blossom Festival, gets underway on Thursday. Right now, the forecast is shaping up to be just fabulous all week long. A little windy tomorrow and tomorrow evening. We can live with that. Outside of that, we'll be just fine. It's going to cool down, but we're going to have quite a bit of sunshine and not a lot of cloud cover at all for this week, and I like that. I like it when I can give you that kind of good news. Great show for you today. Normally, we don't promise you a five-star show on a Monday. We're going to make an exception to that because a couple of our friends from the YWCA will be coming by. Jenny, haven't seen Jenny in a while. She's the director, of course, of the YWCA, and her deputy director, Alyssa, will be dropping by. This is Stand Against Racism Week. The YWCA is in front of that with all kinds of activities going on. Big thing going on this weekend. We'll talk about that. We'll get caught up with Jenny and Alyssa. It'll be fun. I haven't seen Jenny. Was a regular contributor to the program. She's just really busy, but she's agreed to come on the show. They'll be here live in the second half of the program. We'll have your news, of course, your all-important Monday morning news. Also sports, busy sports weekend. Mariners' incredible comeback in the ninth just wasn't quite enough. Sports is coming up. The obscure holiday birthdays. Today in history, everyone is entitled to Mike Magnani's opinion. Great show for you today and a good-looking weather forecast. Before we go anywhere, I want to give you this little tidbit. Sunrise this morning, 6 a.m. sharp. Sunset tonight, 8 p.m. 14 hours of daylight today. The sun is already up. It's been up for about an hour. My understanding is it will be up all day until about 8 o'clock tonight. So 14 hours of daylight right on the button. And then, of course, starting tomorrow, sunrise before 6 a.m., sunset after 8 p.m. Bring it on. I love spring. I'm also like fall, winter, and summer, too. I'm kind of funny that way. Uriah is in control if it's okay with you. And, well, it doesn't really matter if it's okay with you. We're doing it anyway. We're going to go around the valley with our Valley View cameras, courtesy of Localtel Sky-Fi High-Speed Wireless. We begin with the cross cam. And look how green, we're still greening up. You know, we're not past that point in the spring yet where there's not a lot of moisture left in the soil. So we got green wildflowers and all kinds of good stuff everywhere. Man, downtown Wenatchee, the Apple Capital Loop Trail, everybody was just hopping with activities over the weekend. The Wenatchee Marathon took place, the MS Walk took place, they had Earth Day festivities at the Pybus, and it was a beautiful weekend and a beautiful Easter, and you're going to like the forecast when we get to that in just a couple minutes. So the Wenatchee Valley, we say good morning to you. You get to bat lead off. I love the baseball metaphor there. From this point forward, I don't know where we're going. Uriah gets to decide. So where are we going to go, Uriah? We're going to do a slow dissolve, and we're going to take a look at the McNeil Canyon camera, that top, right at the very top of McNeil Canyon, as you have to decide where are you going to go. Well, what you're looking at is Lake Chelan, the beautiful Lake Chelan area. Absolutely gorgeous up there. And look, even those areas that you can see are pretty greened up at the top of McNeil Canyon. Lake Chelan's in the middle of your screen there. Snow continues to recede from the upper elevations. It's just gorgeous. And by the way, I think, don't quote me on this, but I think this weekend is the last weekend of skiing at Mission Ridge. Just a heads up on that. Camera 3, we're off to see the Wizard? No, we're off to the Orondo Rock camera with Lake Aniat dominating your view there. That's one of those little areas of the Columbia where it looks more like a lake than a river. It is a river, but they call it Lake Aniat. I don't want to get into that. You can see Turtle Rock. You can barely make out Rocky Ridge Dam. You can see Mission Ridge. In fact, you can see Mission Ridge way off in the background. Beautiful view from the Orondo Rock camera. And finally, camera 4. Let's say good morning to Bill E. Goat. Look at that phenomenal view way up above Pateris and the Alta Lake Golf Course. Absolutely drop-dead gorgeous. One of everybody's favorite cameras, I think, is that camera, the Bill E. Goat camera. It's up there in elevation. You can see Pateris. You can see Brewster, the mighty Medhow, the Alta Lake Golf Course. Got to get up there. Get in an 18 at Alta Lake. It's a great course, challenging, fun. You got to love it. And you can kind of make out Mount Kalispell right in the middle of your screen. Some phenomenal views this morning from Localtel's Sky-Fi towers. And that means if you can see one of these towers, there's about 75 of them all over the Pacific Northwest, north central Washington, out in the Columbia Basin, you can get screaming fast internet to your house without fiber. Give Localtel a call. It'll walk you through the process. Hope it works out for you. A lot of people love Sky-Fi. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at that weather forecast. I already teased you a little bit. It's looking good, looking really good. Now, it is going to be a little windy on Tuesday and Tuesday night. Today, pretty mild, pretty dry. Yesterday's high was 70. We'll be right about 70, maybe 71. Clouds will thicken up a little bit this afternoon. Then a quick moving cold front will come through. Will bring breezy conditions on Tuesday and Tuesday night. Then it exits on Wednesday morning. We have a beautiful day Wednesday, Thursday for the opening day of the Apple Blossom Festival. Things are looking great there. Partly cloudy and fairly warm. Now, we're going to cool down, as you can see, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Saturday is the Kai's Fiber Youth Parade. Partly cloudy, cooler. Highs will be about 65. Sunday for Youth Day, that 61-degree mark is actually below normal. Our normal high for this time of the year was 64. By the way, Easter Sunday, we topped off at 70. It was just a beautiful day. A lot of people thought it felt a lot warmer than 70. If you were out in the sun, it did feel warmer than 70. So there's a forecast outside of a little bit of wind. So on Tuesday and Tuesday night, we're looking just fine. Partly sunny today. Clouds thicken up this afternoon. It'll be cloudy tonight. Going to hold the heat in, as you can see. Then Tuesday, as this cold front comes in, it's going to be windy, 5 to 14 miles an hour. Gusts as high as 26 miles an hour Tuesday into Tuesday night. It calms down Wednesday with lots of sunshine. And then we just have beautiful weather for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Absolutely perfect for the most part for Apple Blossom Festival, the 100th. We're looking forward to that. We're going to be all over the festival. In fact, a little programming reminder. We, of course, will be broadcasting the Kai's Fiber Youth Parade coming up this Saturday live from a brand new location. And then next week on Friday, we'll be doing the Les Schwab Classy Chassis Parade and the Stimmo Growers Grand Parade as the party is about ready to begin. Our own little wing ding. It is 8 minutes after the hour. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we have your Monday morning news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live this morning from Studio 7 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life Channel.
Only one dealership in Wenatchee has Motor Trend's SUV of the Year and Truck of the Year. That's right, Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram has the all-new Jeep Wrangler and the all-new Ram 1500 pickup. Or get the best of both worlds in the new Jeep Gladiator. Visit Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram today for more information on these award winners and see why there's no reason to leave town to buy your next vehicle.
Hi, I'm Jim Heinlein, agent here at Senior Insurances of North Central Washington, where we help our clients navigate the Medicare world. One of the things we really enjoy doing is teaching our clients about their rights. Like, did you know that if you have a traditional Medicare supplement, you can change that monthly all year long, regardless of prior health conditions? So if you'd like to know more about your options with Medicare, you can visit us at one of our 5 local offices, as well as give us a call at 888-2600.
Welcome back. Fair skies, 46 degrees on our way to a high of about 71 with increasing clouds, breezy on Tuesday and Tuesday night, and then sunny and nice weather for the rest of the week here. So it's making headlines on this Monday. The Washington State Patrol reports a Colville tribal police officer was injured after crashing his patrol SUV into another vehicle in Omak. This happened on Friday. Troopers say Officer Mackenzie Schaefer was northbound on Highway 97 responding to a service call. His vehicle's siren and emergency lights were activated when he slowed down while attempting to enter Ing Road on a red light. Schaefer's vehicle struck a vehicle driven westbound on Ing Road by 21-year-old Omak woman. She was not injured, but Officer Schaefer was transported to Mid-Valley Hospital for treatment of unspecified injuries. The intersection was closed for 3.5 hours during the investigation. Troopers say the tribal officer caused the crash after failing to yield to the other vehicle. No charges were filed. Well, Governor Jay Inslee signed off on a bill sponsored by 12th District Representative Keith Gaynor during a ceremony in Olympia on Thursday. The measure makes any property sold by a county treasurer in a tax lien foreclosure sale to be sold, quote, as is, end quote. House Bill 1634 will expand the language in state law to ensure anybody buying property in a foreclosure knows that there are no implied warranties. It's the first piece of legislation introduced by the first-term House representative. It says the law will protect local governments from litigation by purchasers who are unaware of restrictions on the foreclosed parcels. Gaynor added, in today's economy with many people turning houses and buying fixer-uppers, this is much needed legislation. The bill takes effect 90 days after the regular session adjourned. Chelan County Commissioners say they're getting closer and closer to establishing new controls on vacation rentals. Conflicts over noise, traffic, and parking, that's increased over the last several years in the Lake Chelan and Leavenworth areas as more and more homes are being listed online on sites such as VRBO and Airbnb. Here's Doug England.
We're told that there are between 1,500 and 2,000 just in Chelan County itself, and most of those, of course, are concentrated in our two districts. That number, I'm sure, will eventually go down. Whenever you have an industry like this, people see all kinds of money and they don't see the problems that come with it. But there will be, when they're all through, there will most likely be a very viable community, probably not at that number, but supplying needed housing for people both in District 3 and 2.
England says the planning process has been, quote, slower than we want it to be, end quote. He says the challenge is creating a new set of rules that adequately address nuisance issues without adversely affecting tourism and the thriving vacation rental industry. Well, the city of Wenatchee reminding people to hold off on putting your chairs out in place for the Apple Blossom Parade route. You can't do it until this Thursday morning. Now, up until 2013, chairs would line the sidewalks on Rondo Avenue east of Chelan sometime in the weeks before the first parade. But the city passed rules banning chairs until 48 hours before the youth parade. That means no chairs until Thursday at 7 a.m. And finally, in this morning's feature story, with the wildfire season just right around the corner, Chelan County Fire District number 8 in Antioch produced a recruiting video seeking volunteer firefighters for the 2019 season. Take a look.
Report of a structure fire, 215 North Huron Street.
What is it to be a volunteer firefighter? Is it the gear, the training, the vehicles you learn to drive, the rush of adrenaline when you get that first call, the honor of protecting your community? Maybe it's all of it, but it comes with sacrifice. Time, energy, sweat, sometimes blood, and even tears. You don't do this because it's easy. You don't do this for gratitude. You don't do this for fun. Every call may not be a victory. Sometimes you'll walk away wondering if you helped at all. But sometimes, you will be a hero.
Good stuff. Speaking of Chelan County Fire District number 8 up there in Antioch, our very own senior news correspondent Steve Harris spent a great deal of time Saturday up there at that location. They were doing wildfire training exercises over the weekend. Steve was there with his camera. We'll have a story about that when we get to the news tonight at 5 o'clock with Grant Olson. Yep, the news. What happened over the weekend? Grant will tell you. He'll fill you in on all the details. He also handles the weather forecast. Eric Granstrom with sports. The news comes your way at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. The NCW Life Evening News, 5, 6, and 10. You can watch it on demand by going to our website. We live stream all the time at ncwlife.com, or you can just watch it whenever you feel like it. We get the news up and running on our website right around 4:30 or 5 in the afternoon, and you can click on it and watch it whenever you darn well feel like being informed on what's going on. After all, that's what we do around here, trying to keep you in the loop. Grant with the news, Eric with sports at 5, 6, and 10. Don't forget to get a hold of us. We'd love to hear from you. You can email us, news@ncwlife.com, news@ncwlife.com. You can drop us a line on our Facebook page. You can go to our website and contact us that way. We love to hear from you, our viewers. 46 degrees, fair skies at about quarter after the hour. Going to take a break and Tell you what happened in sports in 1 minute. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
My name is Hannah Peterson-Kinney, and I'm a certified nurse midwife. I became a midwife because I thought birth was one of the most amazing, beautiful things. It's about caring for women through many stages of life and helping to empower them with knowledge and build partners to improve their health. It would be an honor to provide care for you, and I would love to welcome you to the CVCH midwife family.
Your television home for the 100th Washington State Apple Blossom Festival is the NCW Life Channel. Be sure to watch the Kai's Fiber Youth Parade on Saturday, April 27th, the Les Schwab Classy Chassis Parade on Friday, May 3rd, and the Stimulk Growers Grand Parade on Saturday, May 4th. Brought to you by Collins Fashions, where fun meets fashion in downtown Wenatchee. Your television home for the 100th Washington State Apple Blossom Festival is the NCW Life Channel. Welcome back. 17 minutes after the hour. I'm Dan Kuntz. Let's do sports. The Wenatchee Panthers and the Eastmont Wildcats played another classic in their ongoing rivalry on the soccer pitch on Friday night. It was a great game. We were there. Wenatchee came out on top in overtime. The final was 1-0. The Panthers dominated play for most of the first half, the ball mostly on Eastmont's end of the field. But the game would end scoreless, would go into a 5-minute sudden death overtime, and that's when Wenatchee found Jose Camarillo for the header, and they completed the sweep of their Cross River rivals. Our very own friends Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wisen were there with the call. Here are your highlights.
Delivery doesn't work. Camarillo, shot across. Camarillo, personal maneuver instead. There it is, the shot and the stop by Mr. Gregerson. There's the shot. Far post, looking for Holland or perhaps Lopez. It's Lopez. Swinging left foot. Wisen the shot and the stop by Gregerson. Let's see who's going to try again. Cleared away by Mendoza. They're still trying, and there's Gregerson to put a stop to the danger. Throw in. Into the box it goes. Bit of a mixer there. Aviles with some trouble. There's the touch. Flag is up. And Mr. Wisen, the younger one that is, has a goal called back. He gets the shot across. Blocked away that time by Camacho. The shot and another beautiful save by Mr. Gregerson. My goodness, what would it be of Eastmont if Gregerson wasn't on his game? Viramontes leaving one behind. Good ball that time. Reynaga into the box. Shot across, and Mr. Gregerson has to act as his own sweeper. Shot across, and Mr. Logan Nelson takes care of it. Little by little, Eastmont making their its presence known in the final third. There's Balauro, the shot, Balauro! And with a bit of trouble, Mr. Nelson controls in the second try, and I believe, no, everything copacetic. But that looked like a fair and square foul, if there's such a thing. There's the ball, Wisen, right-footed shot, Wisen! And the stop, once again, by Jeremy Gregerson, who has to buy lottery tickets tomorrow morning, first thing. Wenatchee territory, pivoting header that time by Cabrera and Balauro, the shot, Balauro, my goodness! Woo! What a shot by Nate Balauro, and the crossbar saves the Wenatchee Panthers. Balauro, there's a shove from behind, and that will cost a yellow card. Number 8 with the yellow card for Wenatchee, that is Israel Rocha. And now the teammates have to cool off. Nate Balauro is Mr. Leon. Leon to the heart of the box. Big leap. Half volley. The shot. The stop. And Mr. Nelson. Fuentes cannot connect. And Nelson with a beautiful save. Viramontes and Holland. Holland. Marked that time by Andrade. Shot across. And it sails in front of the mouth of the goal. And there's the whistle that tells us that once again for the Eastmont Wildcats, it's time to work overtime. Quick run. Bravo. Into the box. Shot across. The header! Goal, 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 goal! Jose Camarillo wins it for the Wenatchee Panthers. 84 minutes, 48 seconds. And a beautiful combination between Marcos Bravo and Jose Camarillo. And the folks from across the bridge are partying like crazy.
It was a very entertaining match and a good crowd at Wildcat Stadium. On Friday night, another soccer action on Saturday. To the Les Schwab scoreboard we go. Kashmir bounced Brewster 6-2, and Lakeside out of 9 Mile Falls topped Chelan 3-1. Well, Wenatchee was able to do something in Big 9 baseball that only one other team's been able to do to Moses Lake on Friday. They beat the Chiefs. Yeah, they handed the Chiefs a loss. TJ Sherding hit a 2-out bottom of the 7th RBI base hit to score Dalton Thomas for the game-winning run. In the first game of the doubleheader, they gave the Panthers an 8-7 victory. The Chiefs bounced back to take the nightcap 7-3. It was a sweep-like Saturday across the rest of the Les Schwab Prep baseball scoreboard. Take a look. Okanagan beat Kashmir 13-0 and 6-5. Overlake topped Cascade 10-8 and 15-9. And Liberty Bell overwhelmed Waterville Mansfield 25-3 and 15-10. The Wenatchee girls softball team earned a split at Moses Lake on Friday. The Panthers won the opener 3-2, with Moses Lake coming back to take Game 2 11-1. On Saturday in girls fast pitch softball, Okanagan swept Kashmir 19-7 and 18-0. Chelan split with New Sac Valley. They won Game 1 7-6. They fell in Game 2 16-6. Manson and Bridgeport split a pair, but the Mustangs winning the opener 16-9. The Trojans taking the nightcap 17-5. And the Waterville Mansfield girls, good day Saturday in Winthrop. They swept Liberty Bell 17-9 and 13-5. It was a good weekend for the Wenatchee Valley Thunder lacrosse team. They swept Hermiston and they swept Stanwood. Good job. On Friday in Hermiston, Wenatchee put on an impressive offensive output. They won 21-7. Ben Higley and John Walker led the attack with 4 goals each, followed by 3 each from Rhett Govia, Tristan Plock, and Jake Strom. And then on Saturday, Wenatchee hosted a much tougher Stanwood squad. They came out on top there, 12-5. Higley and Plock once again on the scoreboard with 3 goals each. Jack Jorgensen collected his 2nd consecutive win in the net. The Thunder traveled to Richland Wednesday, then they'll host Chiawana Friday. We'll have that game, by the way, live right here on the NCW Live channel. Well, the Wenatchee Valley Skyhawks 2-game winning streak came to a crashing halt Saturday in Reno. Skyhawks were hit by the express train, if you will, 57-12. Wenatchee Valley will have a couple of weeks to lick their wounds with a May 4th return trip to Reno on the schedule in the American West Football Conference. The Mariners were close to coming back to sweep the Angels Sunday. A huge 9th inning rally, but it fell just short, as you see there, 8-6. They were trailing 8-2 heading into the top of the 9th, and Seattle got home runs from Tom Murphy, Dee Gordon, and Mitch Haniger. They scored 4 runs in the inning. The tying run was at the plate, and then the final out was recorded. But the 3 home runs gave Seattle 14 over the 4-game series, of which the Mariners won 3 of 4. They have 56 home runs in their first 25 games. The M's are off today. Then they take a 1-game lead into the American League West over Houston into the first of a 2-game series at San Diego tomorrow. And those were just some of the games that people are playing on this Monday, 24 minutes after the hour. And let's do the obscure holiday. It is April 22nd and makes it Jelly Bean Day. Man, that looks good. We probably all have leftover jelly beans from the Easter festivities of yesterday. Of course, jelly beans come in a huge variety of colors and flavors. According to Jelly Belly, which is the most popular jelly bean maker in the world, the 2 most popular jelly bean flavors are cherry and buttered popcorn. And I actually like the buttered popcorn Jelly Bellies. They're really good. So what do you do for today? You have jelly beans for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. In fact, they just came out with a bacon-flavored jelly bean. That's just, I'm going for that. If they tell you you don't eat enough fruit, eat fruit-flavored jelly beans. There you go. And by the way, it can take anywhere from 7 to 21 days to make a single piece of a jelly bean. Just one jelly bean takes anywhere between a week to 3 weeks. Happy Jelly Bean Day today. A lot of our obscure holidays are food-related. Have you noticed that? Today in history, today is the 130th anniversary of the Great Land Rush of 1889. Yeah. At 12 noon, April 22nd, 1889, thousands and thousands rushed to claim land in the Great Land Rush of 1889. Within hours, and I mean before the sun went down, the cities of Oklahoma City and Guthrie had a population of at least 10,000 people. Now that's what you call growth. An estimated 50,000 people lined up for their piece of the available 2 million acres. You want to move to Oklahoma? As long as you take care of the land, you grow something, you become a productive member of society, we're just going to give you the land. You just can't squat on it. You got to do something with it. That's how it all happened, the land rush of 1889. Of course, there were people who snuck in the overnight hours. They were known as Sooners. Happened on this date 130 years ago. This is Earth Day. 49 years ago today, the very first Earth Day was celebrated. It is now observed in 192 countries. Over 1 billion people are going to participate one way or the other, planting trees, cleaning up garbage, whatever the case may be. In the late 60s, we had a lot of environmental disasters, and finally people said, we just live on this tiny little blue marble floating around in the Milky Way out in the middle of nowhere. This is our only planet we got. We can't move if we kill the planet, so let's start taking care of it. Earth Day was first observed on this date 49 years ago today. It's now coordinated by the nonprofit Earth Day Network, so happy Earth Day to our vessel. And finally, April 22nd, 1993, 26 years ago today, this happened.
2-1 pitch, ground ball over the middle, charged by Vizquel, barehanded, a no-hitter.
Remember that. I was up at our family cabin in Lake Wenatchee getting ready for a poker weekend with the guys, and I had gone up the day before. It was a Friday night when he threw that no-hitter. I remember listening to the radio at the cabin and just going crazy when Bosio threw that no-hitter. Ironically enough, he walked the first two Red Sox. He walked them, the first two batters in the game, and then he proceeded to retire the last 27 Red Sox in a row. We struck out 4, took him only 97 pitches. Chris Bosio threw a no-hitter for the Mariners on this date 26 years ago. And finally, we got birthdays that are all over the spectrum. This gentleman is widely considered the most significant person in the history of the 20th century. I'm talking about Vladimir Lenin. Of course, he was the founder of the Soviet Union. He had his own little take on Marxism and Leninism. It kind of became known as Leninism, but he was voted at the end of the 20th century as the most influential person of the entire century. Vladimir Lenin. Not a lot of people get to say they started their own country, but he did. And he ran it with an iron fist for a while. Vladimir Lenin was born in the state in 1870, died in 1924 of a stroke at the age of 53. Charles Mingus, the greatest bassist in jazz history. I listened to some Charles Mingus over the weekend. Not only was a bassist, he was a composer, a band leader. He played with all the giants, Duke Ellington. His two classic albums, Mingus Ah Hum and New Tijuana Moods, are must listening. The great Charles Mingus, a jazz giant, was born in the state in 1922, passed away at the age of 56 in 1979. Jazz giants don't live very long. If you get into jazz, the odds are pretty good. You're not going to live very long, but you're going to have a good time doing it. We miss this guy, Glenn Campbell. We lost him a couple of years ago. Glenn Campbell was born in this state back in 1936, passed away of Alzheimer's disease in 2017. Glenn Campbell was the seventh son of a seventh son. He was blessed from the get-go. 80 different songs were placed on either the Billboard Hot 100, the Billboard Country Chart, or the Billboard Hot Contemporary Chart. 29 made the top 10. He had 9 number one hits on at least one of those charts. The legendary Glenn Campbell, great guitarist, born in the state in 1936. And Jack Nicholson is 82 years old today. He hasn't made a movie in 9 years, but he says he's not retired. He's not retired. He has 12 Academy Award nominations, Jack Nicholson did. That's a record amongst male actors. Of course, he's won the Academy Award for Best Actor twice, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and As Good as It Gets. And then, of course, he has the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for Terms of Endearment. The legendary Jack Nicholson is 82 years old today. All right, 29 minutes after the hour. We still got Mike McNally's opinion to get to, and my conversation with Jenny and Alyssa from the YWCA. They're hanging around. But first, because I love doing this throughout the Apple Blossom Festival, going to put that right up there. Hopefully, you're right and get a nice clean shot of that. There we go. That is the Pepsi can with the centennial logo of the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival. These cans are everywhere, so Weinstein Beverage, Pepsi Cola, and the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival inviting you to celebrate the festival by picking up a 12-pack or a 16-pack or 87-pack of these Pepsi products with the Apple Blossom logo right on it. Weinstein Beverage, Pepsi Cola has been a sponsor of the Apple Blossom Festival since 1983. That's a long time, and of course they'll be sponsoring Youth Day again this Sunday at Memorial Park. So there it is, the 100th anniversary can. They brought us a bunch. Speaking of that, I got to do this right now before I forget, because I will. Look at all these wristbands I got from the Fantastic Shows Carnival. I've been teasing this for about a week. Now it's time to quit teasing you and let you know how we got this. I got 32 of these. I'm going to give these away in groups of 4. Groups of 4, so there'll be 8 winners. 8 individual winners are going to win a 4-pack of these wristbands, which means unlimited rides. But here's the 2 things you got to remember. This is only good for Monday the 29th, okay? Monday the 29th from 5:30 to 8:30, that 3-hour window, Monday the 29th at the Fantastic Shows Carnival at the Town Toyota Center parking lot. Free rides from 5:30 to 8:30. How do you win these? You email us, winner@ncwlife.com, winner@ncwlife.com. 1 entry per email address. Please, 1 entry per email address. Yes, we will be keeping track of these things. And of course, employees of Solium Broadcasting and their immediate families are not eligible. So email me to now. It's 1 entry per email address. You can't just keep sending them over and over and over again. We're going to vet all those. Thursday morning, at the end of this program, Thursday morning, right before this show ends, I will announce the 8 winners, and they will each receive 4 of these. But again, if you can't make it on Monday the 29th from 5:30 to 8:30, might as well not sign up. Winner@ncwlife.com. I'm going to take a break. Everyone is entitled to Mike Minotti's opinion, and then Jenny and Alyssa patiently standing by. The YWCA is taking a stand against racism. We'll talk about that when we come back. You watch You Wake Up in Antioch Valley on the NCW Life channel. Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
My name is Brian Thorpe. I own Global Car Care in Wenatchee and have been here for about 25 years.
Brian started Global Car Care as Brian's automotive alternative on Orondo Street.
Some customers were following Brian since Brian's automotive time.
No, we're just grateful to be part of this community. This is where I grew up. We want to do our part to be a valuable part of this community. We want to thank you for trusting our business for 25 years.
SkillSource specializes in assessing and guiding youth, adults, and laid-off workers who want to improve their skills. Here you can attend in-depth workshops to assess skills and interests, make career plans, and learn computer basics.
Learning centers provide eligible youth and adults individualized computer-assisted basic education. Vocational training is arranged with approved providers like community colleges or on the job with businesses.
Don't wait any longer. Let's get working on the future you've been dreaming about.
Spring has arrived here at Town Nissan. So has a new shipment of certified pre-owned vehicles, like this Altima and this Rogue. Each of these vehicles goes through a 167-point inspection. Then we will cover them up to 7 years and 100,000-mile warranty coverage. You'll save thousands on these popular models. How about America's best truck warranty? 5-year, 100,000 miles on the all-new Nissan Titan. Buy smart, own confidence at Town Nissan, behind Costco in East Wenatchee.
You don't have to be a member to enjoy the view and dine-in style at Highlander Bar and Grill in East Wenatchee. Open 7 days a week, Highlander Grill offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Dine in or take it to go, our friendly staff is here to serve you. Reservations recommended for Friday night's prime rib dinner. Call for live music dates. Hi, I'm Shalane, site coordinator for Highlander Grill. Give me a call to schedule your event today.
When Mike leaves town, it's a little scary. You never know who might be outside. But we feel safer inside knowing our home is being monitored by a local company. I can check our alarm from just about anywhere, so when we get home, I know it's safe.
Protect your family and save money with a local company. Switch your current security monitoring to Guardian Services from LocalTel. Call Guardian Security from LocalTel now or visit localtel.net to learn more.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, somebody once told me the reason they had a problem with homosexuality is that I can't stand the gay agenda. All right, well, my question is, what is the gay agenda? That they want to live in peace? They want to stop being harassed and stop being condemned to hell by supposedly loving Christians? That's an agenda? Yeah, I know. Sometimes it's the media that shows us something different than this, but even so, if you were gay, wouldn't you have an agenda? I mean, come on. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Hi, I'm Jim Heinlein, agent here at Senior Insurance Services of North Central Washington, where we like to teach our customers how to shop and compare from all the Medicare options. Now, a lot of folks will come in and tell me, Jim, I'm so confused about all these choices. In fact, there's 21 reasons you can join a Medicare plan. But we want to focus on the specific plan that's right for you. So if that's what you need, give us a call at Senior Insurance, 888-2600, or visit one of our 5 locations.
Hi, this is Brian Snyder with Black Rock Asphalt Services here in Wenatchee, your local Black Rock seal coat company. Have you looked at your driveway or parking lot lately? Is it gray and oxidized? Does it have cracks that have not been taken care of? Or do you have striping that is pretty much non-existent? Please give us a call locally here, 509-665-9769. Learn more at blackrockasphaltsealcoating.com.
Hi, Justin here, owner of Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere. Club Crow is your place for famous blues, brews, and barbecue. We are your one-stop bar and grill, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Looking for a fun night out? Join us at Club Crow Saturday nights. We have live bands to rock the night away. Club Crow is bringing comedy to Cashmere. Check out our Facebook page for upcoming dates. Live jam session first Sunday of every month. Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere, the coolest place in town.
I'm Jenny Rojanasatian, and this is Guada TV. Every week we will be bringing you a first look at North Central Washington business, tech, and education news. You'll hear from local influencers and innovators who live right here in the Valley. Together, we'll discuss hot topics, current events, and resources that can support your business, our schools, and this community. Join me every week, and let's get inspired.
We are back here in Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I cannot believe it's been at least a year, if not longer, from the last time Jenny Pratt, the CEO of the YWCA of North Central Washington, paid me a visit, which is completely my bad, Jenny. I don't know what I was thinking.
Good morning.
You can yell at me if you want.
No yelling.
You need to come on more often.
I agree.
Okay. By the way, you look fabulous. I mean, spring is busting out all over with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm happy that spring is finally here.
Yeah. How you doing? I missed you. How you doing? What's cooking?
I'm doing really, really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm glad to be here and take a minute to pause and talk about what's going on.
It is the annual it's SAR week, which is Stand Against Racism. Of course, the YWCA is the lead agency here in North Central Washington for that. This is the 5th year that the Y has been involved, right?
It is.
So how I guess the first question is, how did the Y get involved in the first place? Is this something that's a Y generated thing, and so all the regional Ys are a part of it, or?
Yeah, it was generated at the national level. So YWCA USA picked up on an event that another local was doing, and it's been in operation for about 8 years now, but it's really picked up speed, and there's literally thousands of events across the nation this week.
What do people take away from this when they participate this week, and especially with the big going? And what's going on this weekend is phenomenal. We'll talk about that. What do people take away from this? What's the goal here?
The goal is to get people to stand with us, to speak up, speak out, and take a stand when they see racial incidences occur. That's the basic of why we're doing all the things we're doing this week.
Does it work? Are you changing people's hearts and minds, or sometimes you feel like you're bailing out the ocean with a spoon?
Sometimes it feels a little like that, but I think that especially during these times of the year, we're hopeful. We have so many impacts. There's actually taking a stand or taking a pledge that people can do with us on numerous ways. Sitting at home, by attending an event, or online. So all of those things are a way to participate and to take a stand. And there's some language and some wording about how you might do that. It might be as simple as speaking up when somebody tells you a joke that might have been funny 25 years ago, but it's not right, and to stand up and to say, I don't believe that is right because of whatever the reason is,
right.
Because it is unfavorable against a certain type of person. So
walk a mile in their shoes. There's a good piece of advice. I'll never forget when I read the book Black Like Me. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
I have read that book,
It's
yes.
a phenomenal book.
It is.
In a nutshell, a guy basically passed himself off as African American to see what it would be like to be an African American in the Deep South in the 1960s, and it was one of the best books I've ever read. It's a real eye-opener.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, put yourself in somebody else's shoes.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not doing this alone. I know you got a lot of people helping you out on this. You want to throw some kudos right now? First of all, Alyssa isn't here. We don't know why.
Alyssa's not here, but hi, Alyssa. I know you're watching, even I told you not to. She's been spearheading this. She's the YWCA deputy director now, and she's been running this event and working with a lot of great sponsors and partner organizations. Wenatchee Valley College has become a very valuable partner in this process for the last 4 years of the 5 of them been an integral part of our stand against racism. So
getting sponsors, is there any kind of pushback on that, or they get it?
Funny you say that.
Yeah.
About 5 years ago, we did have some pushback. People didn't really want to talk about it, and so since that time, we'd really had some good progress. But this year, no hate, no fear, immigrants' rights and for justice. And because it had an immigration piece attached to it, we really ran into some pushback this year for a little bit. But then we really found out who our supporters are, and we have got more sponsorship support this year than any other year.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And of course, for the college, that's part of their charter, is to be a part of this kind of thing. Where did you get some of the names that you're bringing in here? We have a poster, if you can bring that up, Uriah. Where did you get these people? These are heavy hitters here. Some of the people who are going to be attached to this.
Yes. So having a partner like the college is certainly helpful. But this year, YWCA, we're bringing the CEO of the YWCA USA.
The whole organization, the head gal.
The head honcho of the whole United States YWCA is coming here to speak at our events this Thursday. That's Alejandra Castillo, and then we have Ernie G, who's coming. Is going to do the panel, and he's going to be speaking during the day at the school events. And then we have Enrique Morelos he's the founder of Border Angels, who's doing some phenomenal work. I can't wait to hear more about that. And then we have some more local folks that are coming in. And without all of these individuals, it certainly would not, be exactly what it's going to be.
How did you get the CEO of the national YWCA organization, the head gal, to come to little old Wenatchee Town, USA, and talk?
Well, funny thing, I just saw her at a meeting, and I asked, and she said yes.
Wow. You're hard to say no to.
Yeah, well.
You're hard to say no to. Comedy for a Cause on April 25th.
Yeah.
Talk about that. We all need to laugh.
Well, it's a heavy topic.
Right.
And so Alyssa says, hey, I have the greatest person to come and talk, and that's Ernie G. He's a comedian from Los Angeles. And Alejandra will be speaking just a bit. It is a benefit, this portion of the week, to help support our efforts in advocacy and all the other ways that we support ending racism. And so all of these things are kind of culminating at the end for Comedy for a Cause. We thought it would be really kind of a relief to end with something funny.
It's a serious topic, but this guy's going to be able to make you laugh and think at the same time.
Yes.
That's the whole idea.
Yes, and poke fun. And so we're super excited about all of it. But the Comedy for a Cause, again, we're going to do our first event at the museum, so we're really excited about that. But you know, we have so many different things going on.
And the Comedy for a Cause, where's that at?
It's all, those things are at the museum.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So kind of in a nutshell, today we're having a kickoff Facebook Live event that's going on today. So you could catch that at the YWCA Facebook. And then Wednesday, we're going to be at the OMAC College campus for Wenatchee Valley College doing the Stand Against Racism Day with a bunch of these speakers. Thursday, all day at the Wenatchee Valley College campus. And then all of these events Thursday night at the museum.
So it's a busy week for you.
A little bit.
Yeah, very busy week for you. We went to last year's event at the college. It was a beautiful day, and it was a neat event. It was really cool, especially to see the younger kids, the college students, taking a stand and getting involved instead of saying, "I got to do it for extra credit." They care. They give a damn.
Yes.
That's the cool part.
My favorite part throughout the years has been when the students get up and speak from their heart. And they may have been prompted to share if they have something to share, but it really spoke to me personally when I was able to hear the students speak about their personal experiences here in our own community.
Why, the YWCA as a national organization, as you mentioned before, it started this, they picked it up from one of the regional outlets and they made it the national thing. Why the YWCA making the stand against racism? How does that, one doesn't normally associate the YWCA with trying to stomp out racism, and yet it seems to fit.
Yeah, it's the first line in our logo, eliminating racism, empowering women. And the YWCA USA has been doing racial justice work for more than 160 years. You know, the YWCAs were marching with Martin Luther King for civil rights. They've been there when women were not allowed to vote and advocating for women's rights from the get-go. So it's really not surprising. Here in Wenatchee, we have a lot of work to do, so our YWCA is recognized for racial justice work.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get caught up more with Jenny. Again, it is the YWCA North Central Washington Stand Against Racism, which is basically all this week. We'll talk a little bit more about that and get caught up with Jenny, as it's because I haven't seen you in so long. We got a lot more to talk about.
Okay.
There's a $3 charge for the coffee, by the way.
I need a refill then.
You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you get 35 years of experience and customer service in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's friendly staff strongly believe in repairing before replacing and service all major brands of HVAC units. Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning is your local, independent, trained comfort specialists, proudly serving all of North Central Washington. Call 884-6444 today.
My name is Lacey Haggerty, and I'm a nurse midwife with Columbia Valley Community Health. I love all aspects of my job because it is a profession that's very committed to empowering women to make decisions in their health care that feel best for them. It's incredibly valuable to me as a midwife that I get to take care of women throughout their whole lifespan. I hope to see you at a future visit because I know you'll love having midwifery care.
I'm working today.
I have got some work to do today.
Don't forget, I've got some work for you today.
Have a good first day at work, Mom.
Thanks.
Your donations to Goodwill fund job training programs right in our community.
New beginnings feel great, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Be a job creator. Goodwill. There's more behind the store.
Monday. It is what it is. Wake up Wenatchee Valley. Dan Kuntz, Jenny Pratt, the YWCA of North Central Washington CEO. Are you guys busy? Is this busy time of year? Is it? Are you always busy?
I think it's always busy.
Yeah, but I don't. This is one of those crazy things. I don't like it when you're busy. I'd love it if you girls were just bored at the YWCA every day.
Yeah,
just
that'd
playing,
be nice, wouldn't
playing
it?
cribbage and solitaire and the phone. But you're busy, which means the need is there all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely busy. Focusing on housing and growth. Alyssa's part in that is she's taking more of an on-the-ground hit, and I'm trying to branch out and reach
Right.
out, and so maybe we'll see more of each other.
Well, I hope so. Of course, that's the big thing right here, not only in the Wenatchee Valley, but North Central Washington, is affordable housing for anybody. If you make minimum wage, you can't afford to live here.
Yeah.
Even if you work hard and you do a good job, I mean, if you make a minimum wage, it's over half of your income is going to go into rent, and that's simply unsustainable. So
Yep.
what do we do?
It's just not possible. So, well, there's a lot of folks in the community that are working on affordable housing. There's some really great things happening. A lot of market rate housing coming in. Not so much low income housing. We definitely need more work in that area, but there are some movement there. We are in the acquisition phase at this moment. We're looking at bringing on a few more units. We're just working with permitting and zoning and some things like that. So we're trying to do our part in bringing in more places for people, because all the places we currently have are always full.
Always full, and the turnover isn't. I mean, it's.
Yeah. The shelter turns over just because that's the nature of a shelter, but our transitional housing is slower to turn over, and then we have permanent supportive housing, which we've had since 2016. We have 7 units of that, and we've only had 1 unit turnover since, in 3 years.
So what happens when you get the call, or somebody comes by and says, "Jenny, me and my 2 kids, we have no place to go now. Whatever, my husband left me. He was the breadwinner. What do we do? Help me out. What happens?"
Well, more times than not, we can't help them because
Yeah.
we don't have enough beds. Unfortunately, that is happens every day, not only at the YWCA but at other partnering places. But if we happen to have space, then we are able to bring them in and give them a safe spot to be, and then we work on what's next right away. In the past, years ago, it was kind of everybody came in and stayed, and then we readied you for the next step, and it doesn't work like that anymore. Now we're working on a different model where we just want to get people in permanent homes.
Right.
So we are working on master leasing. We lease with private landlords and guarantee the rent, and we hold the lease, and then we sublet to our clients and manage them in place.
Well, that's a capital idea.
Yeah, it was our interim plan, before adding actual physical units of our own, and it's going pretty well. Our landlord liaison person is every day meeting with people who are interested in the program, and so it's a way to get house, because if you make minimum wage, nobody wants to rent to you if you're paying more than half your income, because they don't think you're going to pay the rent.
Right.
So it's a way for us to be an intermediate party and to kind of help smooth the way, and that's been really well. We have our oldest clients are just about 2 years in and stably housed, and
Good.
and the landlord is happy and giving us references.
That's
So,
great news.
Yeah, it is good.
That's great. Well, we're on good news. Give me a success story, because I haven't seen you for a while. You must have something out there that you must be real proud of. Somebody whose life is on the upward trajectory because of the YWCA. I'll let you toot your own horn. I know you don't like to do it, but I'll let you do it anyway.
Well, it's not my horn usually. You know, we have a lot of wonderful on-the-ground folks that are doing all the wonderful work, and I just get to hear about it typically, either because it's really great or not really great. But we had one success story where we worked with another organization who doesn't provide housing, and this woman and her 3 children were undocumented, and they were having a difficult time being housed. They'd been in some hotels, and at that point in time, we were able to house this woman and children because there were a lot of people that came together to help them, not just the YWCA. We were just the end result. There were a lot of individuals and a lot of churches and another housing organization that came together to support this particular family, and they became housed because of that.
Good.
And that's what it's all about, is working with our partners. It's not all about a one person or one organization show.
Mm-hmm. And there are a lot of intertwining organizations and nonprofits that all have to work together to push the bulldozer forward,
Yes.
to drive the snowplow,
Absolutely.
so to speak. We got about 3 minutes left. Let's wrap up where we began. It is SAR Week, Stand Against Racism Week. It's a national campaign. Every state has events. Here in North Central Washington, the YWCA is the lead agency there. Walk us through the events today all the way through Thursday with the party. Start with today.
Yeah, today at 1 o'clock, tune in or log in.
Log in to Facebook.
To Facebook and follow along at your desk. It's Living in the Shadows is today's Facebook Live event. It's going to be discussing immigrant policies and effects on our community. And so if you can log in for that and give us some support and comments and likes and loves and all those sorts of things, we would love it. It'd be wonderful. And please invite others to do that. Then if you're in the OMAC area, join us at OMAC Campus Day at the Wenatchee Valley College campus in OMAC. And then Thursday, join us at the Wenatchee Valley College around the fountain. We'll have local people tabling. We have all these great speakers. That starts at 9 in the morning, goes on through about 2 in the afternoon. And then at 5:30 at the museum, we have the benefit events where we have the Standing in the Shadows celebrity panel. Yes. And we have a VIP reception in between, and then we're following that with the Comedy for a Cause, which is the finale of all of the events for us here.
And you want to get tickets for that, because if that's going to be at the museum, it's going to probably sell out, right?
We are thinking that it is going to sell out. Tickets, you can get the link through Facebook, through our YWCANCW.org, our page, or go to Eventbrite. .com and YWCA NCW, you'll find the tickets, and you can get all sorts of variety of tickets for one or all of the things.
And all the money raised, and we hope it's a bunch of money, what happens to that? Goes right back into the coffers?
It supports all of our social justice work, particularly because that's the flair of the event.
And what if you can't make it? Hey, it's a lot going on, but I just want to give you guys a hand. I want to give you guys some kudos and write you a check just to help the YWCA out. Can they or volunteer? How does that work?
Absolutely. You could come and see us at one of the campus days. You can send a check to support our social justice work. You can donate online at the website, at Facebook, you name it. And we just love seeing all of those new supporters in every year when we
go down to the thrift store, buy a bunch of stuff down there. That'll help too. That'll help as well. It's always good to see Jenny Pratt, because I wrote YWCA director. Now you're CEO.
Well, things are changing.
Yeah, but always for the good, always onward and upward.
Yes.
So, and I got to come by and see you ladies again. I like dropping by the YWCA.
Great.
You seem to like your job, even though it can be difficult at times. You seem to get a lot of it out of it. So, cool, Jenny.
Great place to be.
Have a great week. Try not to be too busy.
Oh well,
right.
we'll try.
Okay, Jenny Pratt. Everybody, give her a big hand. We don't have a studio audience. Provided the show isn't canceled, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great Monday. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.